On January 25th, 2021, Disney announced an update that would be coming to both the Disneyland and Magic Kingdom versions of the Jungle Cruise. I think that the Jungle Cruise is a bit overdue for an update, and I have to say that I'm actually quite pleased with how they decided to go about doing this. If you watch my other videos, you'll probably pick up that I'm not a fan of the IP throw-up that seems to be the design philosophy of Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. This Jungle Cruise update, however, is the complete opposite, and I think that this is a good opportunity to talk about the importance of creativity in the Disney parks, and how to properly update your attractions. So, what are Disney's plans for updating the Jungle Cruise? In the press release, not all of the details were revealed, but we did receive some interesting concept art. First, we have a refurbishment of the rhino attack scene. Next, we have a new concept, where chimpanzees have taken over the boat of a skipper. While we didn't receive any concept art for it, the press release also stated that there would be a Jungle Cruise skipper in animatronic form. The Jungle Cruise also appears to be getting a tighter script and possible storyline, something which I think it has been lacking. I've seen a bit of criticism of this, as people like how the skippers can kind of ad-lib their own jokes, but generally I find they do tend to stick to the same jokes over and over again. It gets boring. But the most interesting part of this release is what you can read between the lines. It states that the Jungle Cruise will reflect and value the diversity of the world around us. It includes an image and similar quote from the Imagineer, Carmen Smith. We can see that in the reimagining of the rhino scene, the animatronic characters have been changed to be more diverse, and now we have 2 women and characters with different skin tones. I mean, I don't think anyone was clamoring for this to be more diverse, but the attraction definitely has invasive imperial undertones, like when you're attacked by an African tribe. The idea of primitive violent people is a staple of the adventure genre, and is even found in contemporary films. While I don't think there's anything inherently problematic with this depiction, as it has been documented that isolated tribes can be hostile to outsiders, there is definitely a racist and xenophobic history of Western imperial powers subjugating so-called savages. It's not that the scene is depicting the subjugation of this tribe, but there's a dicey history here that's best to be avoided. Disney did not announce that they were replacing this scene, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the chimpanzee boat goes. We also, of course, have the issue of Trader Sam. In the Disneyland version, he is an Amazonian native who sells shrunken heads, and in the Magic Kingdom appears quite differently, but is likely to be Central American, despite that version of the ride ending in Asia. Again, it's not that the shrunken head trade wasn't a thing, but maybe it's better that we don't conflate non-Westerners with cannibal savages when your parks exist in a country that values cultural diversity. So, let's now get to my point about why I think this update is a creative change in the right direction. It's clear that Disney is attempting to change the parks to get rid of problematic portrayals. I made an entire video about why I don't think Disney will invest the financial resources into retheming Splash Mountain, but I think it's clear why they want to. In 2018, the bride auction scene on Pirates of the Caribbean was changed to an auction of the townspeople's possessions. I don't think I need to explain why pirates selling enslaved women was a problem for a family-friendly park. However, this change did receive quite the public outcry. In the first camp, you have the idiots, who thought the scene shouldn't be changed because it was historically accurate, in an attraction that has zero historical accuracy. I also want to point out that Imagineer Claude Coates, quoted in The Disneyland Story by Sam Genoway, indicates that even Walt Disney himself was uncomfortable with the content of this particular scene. If Walt Disney hadn't died, I'm not so sure that this scene would have ever come to fruition. In the second camp, you have people like me. I believe that the Disney parks are full of classic attractions, and that instead of replacing them with something half-baked and flashy, you should be updating them instead. Take for example Mission Space, replacing Horizons, or Stitch's Great Escape, replacing Alien Encounter. Actually, there are plenty of examples of Disney having a poor track record and replacing beloved attractions with something underwhelming. But you know what? The reimagining of the scene really works because it's very much in the spirit of the original scene and isn't a distractingly out-of-place IP tie-in. Yes, I get that there's some criticism of the voice acting for Red, but I still think that the scene ultimately makes a lot of sense in the context of the others. It appears that this is exactly what's happening with the Jungle Cruise as well. I'm sure that the actual Jungle Cruise film will probably be enjoyable, but I really have zero need to see Dwayne Johnson in this classic attraction. Instead, we're going to see something creatively new, and like Pirates, is very much in the spirit of the overall theme. If you take notice of Kevin here, as he explains what the reimagining will entail, you will notice that he's wearing a C pin. C is short for the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, a fictional organization that makes Easter egg cameos in different attractions around the Disney parks. Their presence can be found throughout Hong Kong Disneyland's Mystic Manor, Tokyo DisneySea's Tower of Terror, and even in the Jungle Cruise Skipper Canteen restaurant at Magic Kingdom. Disney appears to be hinting at an expansion of this lore for the Jungle Cruise, and I think that this is more than welcome. It's great to see Disney Imagineers allowed to be creative and original, and that's ultimately a direction I think the parks should be taken in the future. If you enjoy the content of this video, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. It's my goal to have my channel discuss Disney and theme parks in a context outside of just entertainment, and you can help me gather an audience by simply leaving a like and hitting the subscribe button and bell notification to see when new content is released.